Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast and now videocast. No more excuses. I am Sandy Ballard, the Badass Business Coach, your host for this podcast and videocast. Thanks for being here, for listening and watching and sharing the podcast with others. So I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to check out my website, badassbusiness.coach. And as you can tell, I'm outside. You might hear a little background noise. An airplane just flew over as I was starting, so I'm not sure if you heard that, but I'm enjoying doing these outside and natural and authentic because that's actually who I am. So thanks again for being here and for putting up with a little bit of background noise to, just add to it, add to the ambiance, right? If you're new here or if you have not yet reached out to me, please do let me know where you're listening from. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd love to give you a shout out. So you can always email me, sandy@sandyballard.com, or DM me, comment, find me. You can do it, right? So, like I said, thanks again for being here and investing in you. And welcome to the fourth quarter, right? It's the fourth quarter. Time to really dig deep so you can play bigger. Dig deeper to play bigger. And there's really no more excuses, right? Yes, I know some people are like, oh, I'm so far off track. I'm just going to give it up. I'm going to quit. Well, I double dog dare you to dig deeper. All right. Keep going. And there's things I haven't achieved yet this year. Okay. One big thing I did achieve, if you're a longtime listener or if you just happened upon this, I finally published my fourth book titled Leverage. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, and print version, so go get it. Yes, fourth book. And what do I want that? It is titled Leverage, and it's about leveraging who you are, leveraging who you know, leveraging your superpower, your talents, other people's as well, to help you achieve your success, not selfishly. But we all need help, right? Yeah, I didn't write that book alone. I needed an editor. I now have a publicist, and I have someone helping me with a landing page and some SEO work. I have people who are helping do all of it. I had Christine help with the photos, and I had listener Steven who recommended his wife to do the photos. So there's a lot of things that go into that, and there's a lot of help that we all get. Like I talked about last week, is who's walking alongside you? Who's helping you? Yes, sometimes you're going to be disappointed and sometimes you're going to be surprised, right? I was surprised that listener Steve, so thank you again, Stephen, for suggesting your wife and the fact that you came from Arizona to take the photos for my book. I love it. I really appreciate that. And then there's going to be people that disappoint you, but it's, maybe they're not in the right seat on the bus for your life. Maybe you're asking them to do things that you or that they aren't good at, or that kind of thing. So I've talked about that a lot, just really making sure the people in your life you're asking them to do things that are a good fit, right? Because we need to get things off our plate. So looking at what's happened this first three quarters and what you're going to do to play bigger in the fourth quarter is reviewing your goals, reviewing the who and what in your world. And I've talked about in the last few podcasts about getting things off your list that are not a good use of your time, but who can help you do that? I listened to Gary Vaynerchuk. Love you, man. There was a reel, I think, on Instagram, and someone was asking, what can she do? And, he was talking about owning your value, maybe raising your rates or doing what you need to do to hire someone to do the things that aren't a good use of your time or that don't make sense for you to do right now, so you can focus on the things you need to do, especially looking at the fact that we have, we only have 3 months left, but we still have 3 months left in the year. So don't give up. If you're thinking about giving up, I double dog dare you to dig deeper. All right, please. So things, I mentioned my book, things I've done and haven't done. Well, I wanted to run another race. This one was a 10-miler, and just get in better shape again and feel like I did 5 years ago, right? We're all getting older. I'm about to turn 53. So, it is what it is. I've had some challenges with my knee again and had to defer my race until next year. I know I haven't made some great choices with food and, that wine. But, we make the choices, and those choices will affect our goals. They will affect our success, right? So, looking at your goals, reviewing, if you've not filled out the gold worksheet, here's mine, personally, professionally. Looking at your word of the year. My word of the year is transpire, which also means emerge. So, how is that? How are my goals? How is my world aligned with that right now? Well, I believe I have a little bit. We're coming out of COVID or wherever we are with the pandemic. I've been able to emerge as I've been able to travel again, as I've been able to publish this book. I had people in India and Mexico, along with the United States and a couple other countries, buy the book, and I love it. So thank you. If you bought my book, thank you. Please leave me a review on Amazon. Just emerging in this new world. We moved to California the end of 2019, right before the pandemic. So, that kind of squashed the plans on becoming known and getting to meet people and doing things. So it's just a matter of emerging and getting to know people. So, yeah, health and wellness, not where I wanted to be, not where I thought I'd be. But am I going to just eat my weight in tacos for the next 3 months? No. I'm going to get my shit together and be more intentional. I have my MyFitnessPal app. I did not record anything for the 2 weeks I was traveling because I knew better, right? But it's being intentional with whether you count calories, whether you work out, whether you don't work out, and you don't have to do anything I do, but doing something that will help you be more intentional with your health and wellness, mentally, physically, all that good stuff, right? And then, otherwise, personally, one of the things I really want to do is start exploring California, and we've been able to do that. I was able to take a road trip with the man Candy as he visited other offices for the company he's working for, and we were able to see different parts of California that we haven't, and that was really cool. And getting ready to finally get to go see Catalina Island. Haven't been there, been here 3 years. So doing that, getting out and exploring as things are opening back up. So where are you? What were you wanting to do this year? What have you done? What have you done? I'd love to hear that. Thinking about personally and professionally, because those things do go hand in hand. If one is not working well, the other is going to be affected, and vice versa. As life especially affects your business, as much as we'd like to say our clients do, well, the economy does, but if you're not 100%, if you're not mentally and physically feeling 100%, or at least as close to that as possible, how is that affecting your business, right? So this is a great time. If you haven't already done so, write down your goals or download it from my website, badassbusiness.coach, and go to the podcast and worksheets page. It's free. It's on there. Download it. It's the same one I use. Looks like this, right? And yes, there are my Post-it notes on new things I want to look at. So, professionally, I was able to, like I said, publish my book, and professionally or personally, we were able to start exploring California. So things I didn't get accomplished was yes, health and wellness. Yes, mentally, I need to get going there. And then on the professional side, to get my women's group, the Taboo Tribe, I really thought it would be going a lot more, but we've had to rebuild after the pandemic. And like I said, things happen, people come and go in your life, and so looking at how and what are we going to do to rebuild that, if we even do, right? So now is a great time, as we're just at the beginning of the fourth quarter, or if you happen to catch this in the middle of November, don't give up. If you're thinking about giving up, I double dog dare you to not. I dare you to dig deeper so you can play bigger. So what will you do? And I was talking with a client earlier, and I asked her, what's the cost of you not doing? If you're not doing something, what is it costing you? What is it? You may think, oh, well, it's just a couple pounds, or, oh, well, it's just, something else in your life, oh, well. But it's costing you something. You just haven't really taken the time to face what it is you're avoiding. So stop avoiding, dig deeper so you can play bigger. And there is still time. There is still time. There's still time to achieve the success you desire. There's still time to achieve that. So reviewing your goals will help you look and see where you're off track and why. Is it things that you're doing that aren't a good use of your time? If you're on track and you've achieved some goals, that's great. What did you do and how can you level up and achieve more? So starting where you are now, where do you want to go? Be ahead of the game. What's wrong with that, right? Don't just coast the rest of the year. Play a little bigger, right? And, looking at what you can do. So for me, for my personal side with the health and wellness, again, getting more intentional with the workouts, getting more, better workouts, stronger workouts. Where we're even looking at hiring a trainer, whether it's an app, whether it's an in-person or virtual trainer, whatever it is. For me, I will just be more intentional with my workouts, and looking at what I can do differently. Because again, none of us want to get into that law of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over the same way and expecting different results. Well, that's pretty much what I've been doing. So recording in my app, being more intentional with my workouts, changing up my workouts a little bit, because being over 50 and having a knee issue, I had to change some things a little bit. So, and then on the professional side, with the Taboo Tribe and with other things, growing my business. Now that we can travel more freely, although I've been traveling a little bit, it's just people are more open to having team building workshops and speakers and events in person, that I will put out more speaker call outs. I will look for more presentation options, and I will start marketing my book a little more effectively, because I now have a publicist, like I said, and Sean, who's helping me with this SEO stuff. So looking at blocking out time 2 to 3 times a week to market the book and say, okay, I'm totally focused on what I'm doing for my book right now, because it's different than what I've done with my first 3 books, which is just kind of toss it out there, have some local I was back in Indiana, some local book launch things, taking that to the next level, again, leveling up. So I challenge you all to review your goals, see where you are, where you're off track, where you're on track, and just kicking ass, and what more you can do. What are you going to focus on in October? What are you going to focus on in November? What are you going to focus on December? What are you going to focus on to help you dig deeper so you can play bigger? I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget, email me, Sandy@sandyballard.com. Remember, Sandy with an I, because my mother was what? A pain in the ass. Email me for the worksheet, download it from my website, direct message me, comment, do something. If you can't get it from my website, I'll get it to you and I'll help you. And if you feel like you're completely off track and have no idea how you're going to make shit happen for the rest of the year, please contact me. I look forward to helping you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.